Thank you very much. I've been talking most of today, so I'm hoping that my voice is not going to give up. So if I pause for a moment for some water, then please amuse yourselves in the meantime, but I may need to do that. So some people may ask, why are, how do we move on? Yeah, okay. Some people may be asking, well, why are Sellafield, which is a former nuclear power station in northwest of England, presenting at a supply chain Meet the Buyer event in Scotland? Well, we're trying to diversify our supply chain to make it fit for the future and more sustainable. So we're looking for people, organisations that can help us to achieve our mission, which is ultimately, I'll come on to, but safer, faster, cheaper is ultimately what we are looking for. So can I ask a bit of a show of hands? How much do people know about Sellafield? So who has zero knowledge of what Sellafield is? Okay, that's a good start. Oh, maybe one. Who's got some basic knowledge? Okay, that's looking better. Reasonable. So better than basic and more reasonable knowledge. And then finally, who could win the Eggheads specialist round? That's good, because I certainly couldn't. So it means that there may not be really challenging questions for me. So I do ask that you pay attention, because there will be a slight quiz at the end. So so there might be some facts that I might just ask back that you repeat back to me. I want to cover three things, as we've already mentioned. I want to talk about what Sellafield is, for those that are unfamiliar with it. I want to talk about how to do business with Sellafield and how you can gain access to some of these opportunities. And also, as part of that, the golden thread for us is talking about how SMEs can access opportunities and what we're doing to encourage SMEs to give access to the site. So we've got a brief video to play you first, which will just hopefully give you a bit of an insight, and then I'll give you a little bit more background. So, To give you a little bit of background, Sellafield started in the 1940s as a munitions factory. In the 50s, we're part of the arms race and developing plutonium for atomic weapons. And in the 50s and 60s, we then started energy production, and in 1956, the Queen opened Calder Hall. And Calder Hall was the world's first civil nuclear power station. Some of the activity that we delivered in the 50s and 60s is still affecting the site today, and that's a big part of the clean-up that we are continuing to do and will continue to do for the next 100 years or so. In 2003, we ceased energy production and concentrated on decommissioning, remediation and decommissioning the site with a focus on reprocessing spent nuclear material. We are due to end the reprocessing of spent nuclear material in 2020 and will continue to focus, as I say, on remediation, decontamination and decommissioning of the site, but that is a longer journey for us. Our mission is to be a world leader in solving complex nuclear challenges. So there's opportunities for us to export some of our knowledge beyond Sellafield and beyond Cumbria, and we take our supply chain with us on that journey as well. So I talked about faster, cheaper, and safer. So those are the three things that we do everything by in ensuring that they underpin everything that we do as part of the site. So moving on to our opportunities, we published earlier this year a revised supply chain strategy. The supply chain strategy that we published it in a way that we've never done before. So we tried to break down a little bit more detail where we are spending that 1.2 billion. So you can find this as a document on our website. What I've tried to do here is to give you a little bit more information in terms of what does that really break down into. So, for example, we spend 80 million on ICT services to make sure that the site is run in an effective way. We talked about SME opportunities. We stole something called Link with Sellafield from Dounreay a couple of years ago, and we stole it with pride. And we hope that we have continued to make it successful and grow. So Link, I think everybody's aware that it's really difficult as an SME to be able to break into a large public procurement opportunity. So what we do with Link is that SMEs pre-register to take part in Link with Sellafield. And when an opportunity comes out that we publish, a tender, those that are pre-registered have an opportunity to bid on that challenge. We're on challenge number 25, I think, at the moment. Mixture of technical and professional services challenge that have come out there. So what we hope with Link will do is when an SME sees an opportunity that they're interested in bidding for, they look at the list of other companies that are also registered for Link, and they say, well, we can deliver 40% of that, but we can't do the other 60%. Who else can help us? So we hope that the SMEs will actually join together and collaborate to submit a joint bid that then suits our needs. So you can see the full list of all the 420-ish companies that have registered for Link with Sellafield to date. And because there's quite a wide range of products and services that we've been looking to procure through that, it's for a range of companies. So if you're sitting there thinking, well, you know, it's the nuclear industry, they're not going to want the products or service that we provide, I'd ask you to think again. We're a diverse site. We purchase an awful lot of different things. So there may well be an opportunity for you to be able to provide that service into Sellafield directly. So to give you an idea on Link, in terms of some of the things that we have achieved with that, it's interesting that what we tend to get from lots of companies, I'll let you have a look at the slides, I'll not read them out, the stats, but what we tend to get when we talk to companies in Cumbria, they say, well, all the work just goes out of county to national companies. And then when we talk at events like this to national companies, they say, oh, all the work's surely going to the local companies. Well, who's right? Well, nobody and everybody. We deliver work, or we ask for work from SMEs for whoever fits the job, whoever's most suited to be able to deliver the product or service that we're looking for. We're not giving favouritism to a company because they're local or that they're national and that they've got more infrastructure and facilities to deliver it. So it's whoever is the best athlete for the job. So I would encourage you to have a look at Link. So to do that, you register on our CTM, which is available, our complete tender management system, available on our website. Register on CTM, you'll then be able to search for Link and you'll be able to register for that. It's a really quick application process. And then when a bid comes out or a tender comes out that you're interested in bidding on, again, we're not asking for war and peace. They're all under 180,000 in value under the ODU threshold. So what we would encourage you to do is pre-register. When we put a bid out that you're interested in bidding for, we usually give a 2-page statement of requirements, and we ask for something back from you that's no more than 4 pages, depending upon the nature of it. But we're not asking for masses of detail and information. We want to be able to turn it round in 4 weeks. So we're not looking to do this, over a protracted period. So, just moving on to how you find opportunities. As most people will say, the best thing to do is to visit our website. It's hosted on .gov.uk, which we have to admit is not the most user-friendly site to be able to use. But there we go. We are doing our best to make our element of that website as user-friendly as possible. So when you go to the website, there's a section called How to Do Business with Sellafield. And you can find that there's a number of opportunities. So first of all, the CTM system, you can register for that. We also, everything that we publish via our CTM also goes via Contracts Finder. So in CTM, you can't, for free, you can't set up alerts. But if you go to Contracts Finder, you can set up free alerts. So anything that we publish, you can get notified of that way. Is the best way to do that. We have something called a procurement plan schedule, which is on our website. And it's a big spreadsheet. And it has a number of tabs that are really useful for you. So first of all, what are the things that we're going to be published? So it's a look ahead for 3 years. It's obviously an aspirational date, and we recognise that times change and things drift, and we don't always get to the time that we were hoping to achieve. But if you look at the website, if you look at the procurement plan, you can search that to be able to see which are the opportunities that you want to be able to bid on. You can also see where we have awarded work. And the reason that we do this is because you can see, well, there may be a subcontract opportunity here because we list who has won that contract. You can also say, well, that contract comes to an end in March 2020. That's something that we're going to be able to aim for. We want to be able to bid for that work. And also on there, there's opportunities that we see as fit for SMEs in terms of potentially lower in value, so you can search for that. Recently, we launched something called a dynamic purchasing system, which I know you guys up here are much more familiar with, from what I understand. We tend to think of it, it's a bit of a new shiny thing for us at Sellafield. And I must call it the Engineering and Technology Solutions Marketplace, not a dynamic purchasing, not refer to it as DPS, otherwise I'll get told off. So the DPS, I'll whisper it, has a scope of 4 areas: engineering, asset management, manufacturing and digital. The way that the DPS works is that you apply to go on, so you look at the scope for the DPS found via CTM, look at the scope, decide whether that's of interest to you. If it is, then you apply to join the DPS. Unlike a framework, if you're not successful, we'll tell you you've not been successful, why, and you can reapply to do that. So you are not frozen out of it if you get part of that application wrong. So you can see on the screen there that in the blue, the engineering and technology one is for Sellafield and other site licensed companies. The one in red, the business and technical one, is led by LLWR and Magnox. The left one is led by Sellafield, and there's a subtle difference in terms of there's more professional services on the right-hand side and more technical ones on the left-hand side. So in terms of what we're looking to put through the dynamic purchasing system, so we've only just launched this a month ago, so I would encourage you to look at this and register if it's for you. So in terms of scale of what we're looking to put through this over the next few years, you can see that for Sellafield alone, we're looking to put 4 million per annum through that. So it's not to be sniffed at in terms of opportunities for SMEs or any other size company. So I would, it's worth a little look at if you operate in that sort of a marketplace. We also list, mainly via our procurements on a page, but we also list some of our near-term opportunities. So major capital projects, information, the ICT contract is up. I think that's open at the moment from memory. Operational and business consumables. Again, these will be for larger contracts. You can see that that's in between 5 and 10 million. All of these do have opportunities for subcontracting. And when you, again, I know I'm driving people to the website, but on our website, we list all of our major tier 2 contractors. We list what it is that they deliver for us. We list what it is that they buy on our behalf. It will have contact details for all of those contractors, and that will be supply chain people. It won't be a senior account director that's never going to answer your emails. It will be a supply chain or procurement person that will be able to give you advice on to how to join their supply chain. If you find, and I hope that this is not the case, if you find that they are not responding to you when you're contacting them, then please do get in touch with us. We would be very keen to hear from you. We would be keen to ensure that we follow up, because we want to make sure that our SME agenda, so as with many public sector organisations, we've got a target to hit 33% of our spend by 2022 with SMEs. Last year we hit 30.9 something, so we were virtually at 31%. It took us an awful long time. Sorry, it took us an awful lot of work to get from the 26% that we achieved the year before. But we did make a big jump. We're putting a lot of effort into encouraging SMEs to be able to join our supply chain, mainly because I said at the beginning, we know that they can help us do things faster, safer and cheaper. On a quarterly basis, we run an SME forum. So you are welcome to come along at any time to our SME forum if you want to join that SME forum, where we look at some of the barriers and solutions to doing business with us, and collectively we solve some of those. Then contact us. You can see that our email address is on the bottom left. That's real people, including me, that answer that email. It's not some robot that's going to ignore you. So you've got a team of 4 that monitor that on a regular basis. We also run an annual directors forum. Maybe slightly misleading in terms of not just for company directors. Any company can attend. We tend to limit it to 2 people per company. We usually have about 500 people attending. The next one's in March, and that will be in Workington, so we would encourage you to look out for that. We publish a quarterly supply chain bulletin. It's 2 pages. If you would like to register to receive that, then drop us a line at the email address and we'll make sure that you do. Please have a look at our Twitter feed. On our Twitter feed, we also put opportunities from across a range of sectors. It's not just opportunities from ourselves, it's across from partners across public and private sector procurement. So if you're a Twitter user, set yourself up on there for alerts so that you can see that when we tweet. I said at the beginning that, that there would be a short quiz. So can anybody, 3 questions. Can anybody tell me who opened our site in 1956? The Queen. What was the site called? Calder Hall. Okay. And the 3rd question was going to be what year, but I've just repeated that, haven't I? So I've lost a question there. Thank you for your time. If you've any questions at all, we have a stand on stand 55 in, I don't know what room it's called. But Nevis, thank you. We're in Nevis, so do come and have a conversation with himself, and my colleague Sophie would be more than happy to have a further conversation. Thank you.